Shout out to Josh from Kiwi Farms. We have officially made it into his head, and we ain't leaving. This is a story that Josh told on Mad at the Internet, his show that's on Rumble and Kick and all these other places. He was talking about an incident in the Walmart parking lot. I'm going to just skip ahead here. It's about 1:30. We'll listen to it for about a minute. This is Josh on his show talking about the Walmart parking lot.
It was like 90-something degrees out. Humidity was in the 80s. And it's just like, oh, man, I'm going to have to walk the entire fucking parking lot to get to. And I drove up the aisle, and there was a spot in the front row, the very first spot that wasn't a handicap, because it wasn't in one of the handicap aisles. If you don't know, the rows right next to the doors are handicapped, but the ones on the middle, on the inwards, are not. But it was the very, very first row adjacent to the handicap spots right next to the door. And because all the Rekieta shit was happening, and I was like mind by Rekieta shit happening, I pulled up in the slot, and I was so happy. And I said aloud to myself, another win for the toe.
Oh, dear Lord.
We are so pervasive in the culture. We are so etched and ingrained into people's minds that in their free time, in the real world, as they're out and about, you can't stop thinking about the toe.
Another win for the toe. Well, I mean, you have to drive with your foot. Makes sense.
Dude, I'm getting tired of being right all the time and watching these guys rage out at me and lose their mind. Not Josh, but like these people rage out at me, and it's like, I try to explain to them like a father figure. I try to explain it to them nicely. Like, you understand the reason you're this upset. You understand that the reason you're this emotional is because I am so good at this. That
I told you how this thing was going to go.
You're not getting this reaction because you're having this reaction. You're having this reaction because I'm making you have this reaction. I am doing things a certain way that's forcing you to have this reaction. The reason Josh is in Walmart parking lot going, another win for the toe, is because you can't get whatever I am out of your head. I am pervasive. I am invasive. I'm zebra mollusks. I'm Eurasian milfoil. I'm an invasive species, and you can't get me off your boat.
It's a goddamn zombie virus. You think the dead, and then he gets up and bites you.
I'm a double-chinned barnacle on the podcasting scene, and you ain't never getting rid of me. And I think the most difficult thing for a lot of these people that hate watch is just not being able to admit they love it. Not because it's not in your head all this much because you hate it. It's something else, and it's something wrong with you. And I'm trying to tell you this so you can be happier, so you can confront it. I'm so good at this that you're emotionally invested. My job is not to make you like me. My job is not to make you think that I'm the most swell guy in the world. My job is to make you emote, to make you connect, and to draw emotions out of you. And I gotta say, I might be the best in the business at it. And I know you're upset that the people you watch can't do the same for you. They can't get you to emote or get emotionally invested. They have to do it through me. Again, another sign of how good I am. But when I hear Josh say that he's audibly saying another win for the toe, that means that he's one of the brave ones who can admit it. How many people are there out there who are having these very similar experiences to Josh Moon who would never admit it to me in a million years, even if I called it out to their face?
I don't know, but I'd love to see someone like literally say it involuntarily, like another win for the toe. God damn it. Like get pissed off. Like say the antisocial girls. They're in Josh's situation. They pull into that parking spot. Another win for the toe. Son of a bitch.
You
Just
know
like
it happens. You know it happens.
I don't know that it happens, but picturing it certainly makes me giggle.
It's not even a prediction. It's a spoiler. They say it. They can't help themselves. Could you imagine, like, you're out making ribs for Father's Day. You're having a great time. You think I think about any of these internet people? Not in a million goddamn years. But I know they're thinking about me. And that's a curse. That's a goddamn curse. But it also shows I'm really good at this. See, Twisted Question Mark says, I say it, and my kids think I'm insane. It's a funny thing to say. Another win for the toe. It's Great.
It's kind of catchy. I got to be honest. It's kind of catchy.
It's very catchy. I contacted Bob Levy about numbers for getting him here to do a show.
Yeah.
And I think this winter we might bring old Bob into town.
That might be fun.
And we might do a comedy show with old Levy. Yeah, that would be fun. Bob's like, oh, we would make everybody's head explode. I'm like, I don't know if it would be that crazy, but I don't know. I've always been cool with Bob. I like Bob. Bob's a funny guy, man. It would be cool to have him here. So
Yeah, I was talking with them about going on their show a while back, and then they're like, oh, Bob's on vacation. When he comes back, we'll get a hold of you. And then who was it? It was Lemmy's guy. What's his name?
Granny.
Granny. It was Granny that was talking to me through Facebook about it, and then he just stopped talking to me about it. I'm like, all right, I guess fell through. Whatever.
I asked Keanu and Gabe if they would come on this show today and be on together and kind of settle this whole thing. And Gabe sent me like 6 minutes worth of voice texts, and I'm just like, okay, I guess that's
Jesus.
I guess that's
it was a yes or no question.
Yeah, he said no. And I wrote back, I was like, I understand. I get it. But then he left me a bunch of voice texts, and like voicemails and voice texts I have a hard time listening to. You know, so
it's like you're forced to be part of a conversation, but you can't join in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sam Show is mad at Keanu. He says that bitch walked cops up to Aaron's front door, but Ethan Ralph is a friend of the show. I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, Keanu finds Ralph to be kind of a disgusting weirdo, but she'll have him on the stream to pump up the numbers, I suppose. I don't get involved with my friends have people on their stream. I don't care.
I'd say you'd be taking it a little too seriously to care who they have on the show.
I don't really give a shit. And let's be very clear. I walked the cops up to my front door. If I would have...
No, Aaron, it was me. I was in it all along.
It is kind of funny to see the guy who orchestrated the whole thing and the guy who basically used the situation to try and exact his revenge, to see that he's now sending people photos without all of those people's permission. Like, Nick, the guy who orchestrated the whole text message thing against me, the pushing the charges and everything, and the guy who's been like running it the entire time. It's kind of funny that now we find out he's been sending pictures of, multiple people without their permission to Ethan Van Sciver and people like that. It's kind of interesting. He was very morally against that. It hurt him very badly, and he was very upset about it. But now he's sending photos of people without their permission to Ethan Van Sciver to fill like a 14-year-old fantasy. It just sounds a little strange to me because he did such a great act of, oh, this is terrible. Oh, it's awful. And this is kind of the same thing I was saying and that Chad Zumach was saying too. He's like, everybody's done this. Everyone has done this. I was just the dumb one who did it not only while the show was on, but I also did it and pissed off a drug addict who had a fucking axe to grind and a grudge and saw me as the devil, so he decided to use it to the hilt.